Hey you guys, just gonna give it another moment just to make sure it's working. Okay, because I always find that when I look back at them there's like a moment of pause. Alright, so today I decided that I needed to change up my wreath. This is a wreath that's been hanging on my door. It's my Christmas one, and I kind of have left it up a little too long because it's starting to warm up just a bit here. And I do have a spring one that I've made. This one. But I've had it for a few years, so I thought it might be fun to make a new one. So what I'm making is these are dryer sheets, and that's what I'm using to make my wreath. So it's really awesome because it's kind of recycling instead of just throwing them in the trash. So what I start with is just a wire hanger that we don't use them very much, but we have them around, and just kind of mold it into a circular shape. And it doesn't have to be perfect by any means. Kind of bring in the sides first, and then bring out those middle parts is what I found is a good way with helping with the shape, getting the shape out. There you go. See, it's far from perfect. Alright? And then grab a dryer sheet. Now I've been just using, what is this, like a Target no-name brand? Sorry, I had a message on there. So I had the Target no-name brand, and I was told before that you really want ones that are 9 inches because that helps it kind of be long enough. See, it says like 6 by 9 or something. So those are the ones that I use, and these are used dryer sheets. So you go ahead and use them in your dryer, use them exactly the way you would, and then you just kind of collect them. I collect them in bags, and I've had some other people give me theirs, so then I have lots of extras. And so what we kind of start with is we just kind of tie them on. So the way that I do it is just kind of like make a loop like that, and then put it over, kind of tuck my fingers in there. Okay, got my fingers in there, kind of like tying a balloon. Then you put it over and tie it in. See? And then pull it flat. And then you just kind of push it to the end. Kind of open this up a little bit too. I kind of like using white because then if you do have a bit of gaps, then it kind of blends in a little bit better. So yeah, and so what I was working on earlier was trying to figure out how many you can use. So there's 2 different ways of doing it, which will obviously, affect what kind of outcome you have. So the way that I do it, as you saw, is kind of where it leaves the rim. So these are the knots around here. So it leaves kind of a rim, and they're all just kind of fluttering out. But you can also do it where you add, I don't know, I think it's like 3 times the amount of dryer sheets. So you'd have to save for quite a while to get enough dryer sheets. But then you can make it where it bunches and it's just like big and thick and very bushy. And my mother-in-law really liked that one. She actually, I gave her a choice of any one she wanted, and she chose the only really, really bushy one that I had. But that one's really hard to decorate afterwards. You could, I guess, add on just a few small flowers. But I kind of like this one because you can add a lot more of your own design to the white. So yeah, so you just kind of keep on adding them, bunching them together. It's not that hard. You just keep on doing it. And so a little bit before, I wanted to make sure you guys weren't just watching me for half an hour tying these lovely little knots. And so I did get one ready, but I did leave some of it open because this is where it gets a little bit more tricky, because you start having a little bit more difficulty getting the knots in there. So make sure you can see what I'm doing here. So this is about where I start doing the knots and just pushing them the other way. So check if I can lean this up so you guys can see a little bit better. So I get my knot, got my hole in there. Oh, you can't see it. There you go. Got the hole in there. Fingers through. In. And loop. Alright. and then pull it tight, and try not to pull it too tight, because I mean it is still kind of a material, and you can like kind of start ripping them. I've had a couple times where I've gotten a bit of a thumb hole in there and stuff like that. So tie it good and tight. Just make sure you're gripping it kind of more as a whole instead of like an individual side, because like I said, your thumb can rip right through it. All right, and so sorry, I didn't even show you. All right, so I tied that one knot there and just kind of push it up there, because of the way it goes up, you can't really just tie a knot up there, so you kind of just got to slide it on up. So where I was at, I was counting them because I thought it would be good for you guys to know about how many dryer sheets you need for this. So I was at 60 when I stopped to be able to show you guys, you know, the ending of it, the trickier part. And so it looks like it'll take about 70, 75 for good measure to do it this way. And like I said, if you want to do it like the really bushy way, so I mean, you'd have it going all the way around. And so I would say you would want at least 3 times that. And then you have to tie your knots really tight so then you can fit more in there to fill it up a bit more. And I mean, you can keep on pushing. You can make it a little bit more separated and have bigger knots, or you can keep on pushing. Like, I mean, if you push this all the way around, you could probably get like another 10 or 20 even on there if you push it tight enough. So it's really up to you, you know, how bushy you want it to be. And since I don't want you guys just looking at me tie knots for a whole while, I won't make it any tighter than I already have it. All right. Cutting in and out a bit. Yeah, my phone seems to have trouble with lives, and so that's kind of why I'm testing it today, is to see how it's gonna work. And I've actually looked into getting a new phone, so kind of testing out how these lives are gonna work. So thank you, Elise, for letting me know that that's happening. But hopefully you're still getting at least the technique of how to tie it, so then you'll be able to make your own. All right, we're almost done. Looks like about 5 more ought to do it. And then we can look at what we're gonna put on it. And I mostly just use, I have my whole crazy craft room behind me, so I have tons of things that I like to put on, random things. And so, but luckily I have a pile of flowers too, so we'll keep it kind of a little more traditional and just have some flowers, since it's coming up on spring and Easter and all that. If I had something Eastery, I'd put it on it, but I don't think I do. All right, almost done. Just coming down to the last knots. Here, I'll show you the front. So I have enough room for about 2 more knots in there. It does get a little snug. Just kind of tuck them over and then kind of fill it in by moving them around a little bit. You know what, that's probably okay. Since I bunch these this way, I'll just kind of bunch them. So just try to spread them out a little bit so then there's not really any gaps. Pull back a little bit so you can see. And I kind of like to make it a little more straight. There you go. So there's some sides here that are a little less curved, so I'll curve that just a little bit more. All right. And then my plan is adding, like I said, just a few flowers to it. So I have some nice purple flowers. And I mean, you can get these bunches even at the dollar store. And I just pluck off the tops, steal some of the leaves, and apparently break it in total. And here we go. With nice purple ones. And I kind of like to work in uneven numbers, so usually 3s and 5s. So kind of, let me see. You know, I kind of like doing the sum on the bottom angle and then the counter on the top. Some people like, you know, to kind of do it right in the middle, so I guess you could design it like that. So, I mean, it's really up to your preference, but I kind of like working in 3s. It tends to give it just a little bit more even of a look when you're done, or a completed look when you're done. So, and what other colors do I have? I have some green and purple. Maybe some green in there. Oh, I don't know if I can break these off. Nope, those ones are staying. But that could be my middle bunch. So let's see where the top is. Make sure I'm not putting it in an awkward spot. Now I can't find it. That's the problem with the white. All right, there we go. And so I'd probably put the green down here a bit. It's a little difficult to show you guys, so maybe I can tuck it in and then lift it up for you. All right, get the green in there. And then some purple. Oh, that's cute. All right, and then, let's see, got some pink. Just to give it a little bit more. And, oh, I wish I had another yellow. Just kind of work with what you got. That's what I always do. All right. So there and there. So this is just kind of, here, I'll lift you up and let you see what I've kind of done over here. Oh, can you see that? All right. So yeah, we just got the green in the middle, tucked it all in. And then what I generally do is I take it all out just kind of one by one and then just put a dab of hot glue on it and just tuck it in there. So what I'll do is, oh, hi boys. I'm sure they've moved on since I saw that. But yeah, I just kind of use my glue gun and just try to kind of start in the center. Since I kind of know that these go on the sides, I take them off and then I find my middle piece. So usually I pick like a